The world's darkest corners, there are places on this planet that were never meant for human presence. Locations where history twisted into something unrecognizable, where nature hides quiet violence, and where the boundary between life and disappearance becomes dangerously thin. Some of these places are remote. Some are surprisingly close to civilization. But all of them share one thing. Those who entered came back changed or never returned at all. This is a documentary-style investigation into 7 of the most terrifying places on Earth, locations so dangerous, so cursed by history or nature, that stepping foot inside them is a calculated risk, a gamble with forces far beyond our control. 1. Aokigahara Forest, Japan's SEA of TRES, the forest that eats sound and people at the northwest base of Mount Fuji lies one of the quietest places on Earth. A dense tangle of ancient trees, volcanic rock, and thick moss. A forest so unnaturally silent that even birds avoid Aokigahara in Japanese folklore. It is known as the place where spirits wander, their voices swallowed by the earth to outsiders. It's called something else, the suicide forest. But the documentary truth is more disturbing than the nickname. The silence that disorients geologists explain that the volcanic rock beneath the forest absorbs sound and no echo, no natural reverberation. Even footsteps seem muted. Lost hikers report that the silence becomes oppressive, a physical pressure around the skull, warping perception and destroying any sense of direction. Compasses malfunctioned, GPS signals distort. People step meters away from the path and vanish into a maze of identical trees. Search and rescue volunteers say that, once inside, you hear things that aren't real. A dripping sound with no water, a rustle behind you with no wind. A whisper that seems human, but fades as soon as you turn. The rope markers to avoid getting lost. Visitors sometimes tie a ribbon around a tree and walk deeper. Many of these ribbons end abruptly, cut cleanly, as if someone changed their mind halfway or was interrupted. The forest floor is scattered with abandoned tents, shoes, notebooks, and in many cases, what's left of the people who never made it back out. Authorities rarely release numbers anymore, officially to respect families, unofficially, because the annual counts were horrifying. The dark history for centuries, the forest was associated with Ubasut, an ancient practice where elderly or sick family members were left to die in remote locations. Whether myth or truth, the symbolism stuck. Aokigahara became a final destination for thousands over decades. Search teams say the forest does something to the mind. A combination of silence, magnetic distortion, and emotional vulnerability amplified by isolation. A place that doesn't just take life, it invites it. And once you enter deep enough, the forest's natural architecture ensures one thing. It's almost impossible to find your way back. 2. Poveglia Island, Italy's plague-mass Gravian island saturated with death between Venice and Lido sits a small patch of land that appears perfectly ordinary from afar. No movement, no boats, no residents. Poveglia Island. Today, it's illegal to visit. Not because of superstition, but because of what lies beneath the soil. A graveyard for the Black Death during the bubonic plague outbreaks of the 14th and 17th centuries. The island became a quarantine zone. Tens of thousands of infected people were forced onto boats and taken there to die. Historical accounts describe the scene as a living hell. Carts of dying bodies stacked atop mountains of corpses, mass cremations that lasted day and night. Fields of ash so deep that even now, over 50% of the island's soil is human remains. Archaeologists have found layered burn pits holding the charred bones of tens of thousands of victims. The asylum, if that history wasn't brutal enough, the 20th century brought something worse, a psychiatric facility built directly on plague mass graves. Patients reported screams echoing through empty hallways, figures standing in doorways that vanished when approached, and voices whispering from beneath floorboards point one doctor allegedly performed illegal experiments on vulnerable patients. According to rumors, he eventually threw himself off the hospital's tall bell tower, claiming that shadows pushed him. Locals swear the bell still rings sometimes, even though the mechanism was removed decades ago. Modern attempts to visit the Italian government forbids entry, but a few illegal explorers have managed to dock on the island. Several reported overwhelming pressure in the chest, nausea, and sudden panic, symptoms consistent with exposure to extreme trauma sites and decaying biological material. Drone footage shows abandoned buildings, collapsed roofs, and courtyards where human ash still seeps through the cracked earth. Poveglia isn't haunted in the supernatural sense that it's haunted because it has absorbed more death per square meter than almost anywhere on Earth. A place where history never had a chance to heal. Point 3. North Sentinel Island, the island that kills outsiders. The civilization that rejects the world in the Bay of Bengal lies a small, forested island cut off from the modern world for tens of thousands of years. North Sentinel Island, home to the Sentinelese, a tribe so isolated, so protective of their land, that any outsider who approaches is attacked on sight. This is not mythology. This is documented, recorded, and verified. The people frozen in time. Anthropologists believe the tribe has lived on the island for up to 30,000 years, longer than almost any continuous human settlement on the planet. They have no immunity to outside diseases. Even mild contact could wipe out their population, so the Indian government established a strict exclusion zone. No boats, no visitors, no research. Anyone who violates the boundary enters one of the most dangerous places on Earth. The killings in 2006, 2 fishermen drifted too close. The Sentinelese killed them instantly and buried their bodies on the beach. In 2018, an American missionary attempted to land despite official warnings that he never made it off the island. Helicopter teams sent to confirm his death were met with volleys of arrows. Even rescue attempts are impossible. The tribe does not negotiate. They do not speak outside languages. They do not welcome foreigners. Why it's truly dangerous. The island itself is heavily forested, with no known infrastructure, no mapped paths, and no safe landing zones. But the real danger is the tribe, a rare example of a society that has remained untouched for millennia and is willing to kill to preserve its isolation. From a documentary perspective, North Sentinel Island is not terrifying because of ghosts, curses, or myths. It is terrifying because it is a place where modern humans are absolutely not allowed to exist, and the consequences are immediate and final. 4. Hoia Baciu Forest, Romania's Bermuda Trianglea place where reality distorts. Near the city of Cluj-Napoca in Romania stands a strange stretch of woodland known for decades as one of the world's paranormal hotspots. Hoia Baciu Forest, a place of disappearances, radiation spikes, geometric lights in the sky, and biological reactions that defy scientific explanation. The clearing at the center of the forest lies a perfect circle where nothing grows. No trees, no grass, just dead soil. Soil analysis shows no toxins. No scientific reason for the vegetation to die. Yet the clearing remains barren, as if something is draining life from the ground. The disappearances. One of the most famous cases involves a shepherd who entered the forest with 200 sheep and was never seen again. Not a single trace was ever found. No remains, no tracks. Nothing. Years later, a young girl disappeared for days and reappeared with no memory of where she had been. Her clothes unchanged, her body uninjured, as if time simply skipped. Biological effects. Visitors report sudden burns on the skin, nausea, dizziness, and intense feelings of being watched. Equipment malfunctions. Cameras glitch. Radiation meters spike unpredictably in certain parts of the forest. Some scientists propose natural explanations. Magnetic anomalies, rare geological formations, even pockets of electromagnetic energy. Others believe the forest is a geographic hotspot, a place where reality feels thin, where time, perception, and orientation breakdown. Hoia Baciu is not deadly in the traditional sense. It is deadly because it disorients the mind, making people walk in circles until exhaustion or panic forces them deeper into a place that does not want them. 5. The Catacombs of Paris, 6 million souls below the underground empire of bones. Beneath the romantic streets of Paris lies an underground labyrinth stretching hundreds of kilometers, only a fraction of which is legally accessible. The Paris Catacombs, a subterranean maze containing the remains of more than 6 million people. The real origin: in the 18th century, the city's cemeteries became overcrowded. Corpses pushed through thin soil. Disease spread through the residential districts. The solution was drastic exhumations, mass relocation, and the creation of an underground ossuary. Workers spent years transporting bones into abandoned quarries, stacking skulls and femurs into endless walls of the dead. The hidden sections, the tourist path, is short and controlled, but beyond it lies an enormous forbidden network of unmapped tunnels, flooded chambers, unstable ceilings, and unmarked ossuaries. Explorers known as cataphiles occasionally enter illegally. Many never return. Reasons range from collapses to floods to simply getting lost in a maze with no sense of direction, no phone signal, and no breathable air pockets. Police teams report finding bodies of explorers who died of dehydration just meters away from exits they never saw. Audio phenomena: sound in the catacombs behaves unnaturally. Voices echo in wrong directions. Footsteps bounce unpredictably. Even trained rescuers report auditory distortions that make navigation nearly impossible. There are reports of people hearing whispers, not supernatural, but caused by pressure changes in narrow tunnels and the dense arrangement of bone walls that reflect sound in unusual patterns. The catacombs are terrifying not because of ghosts, but because of physics, death, and the crushing silence of a world built entirely from human remains. 6. Centralia, Pennsylvania, the town on fire. The underground inferno burning since 1962 inches the heart of Pennsylvania lies a ghost town with smoke rising from cracks in the earth, roads collapsing without warning, and temperatures beneath the ground hot enough to melt tires. Centralia, a once thriving mining community, transformed into one of the most dangerous places in America. The fire that never ends. In 1962, a coal seam beneath the town ignited, a fire that spread through miles of underground tunnels and continues burning to this day. Scientists estimate it could burn for another 100 to 250 years. Flames are not always visible, but the heat is constant. The ground shifts unpredictably. Toxic gases leak upward. Carbon monoxide levels are lethal in certain abandoned structures. The disappearances: one of the most alarming incidents occurred in 1981 when a 12-year-old boy fell into a sudden sinkhole that opened beneath his backyard. A plume of toxic gas shot upward as he dangled over a 45-meter drop into burning coal chambers. He survived only because a family member pulled him out in time. Geologists warn that similar sinkholes can open at any moment. Silent, invisible traps created by collapsing fire tunnels. The evacuation: by the 1990s, the government deemed the town uninhabitable. Residents were relocated, buildings demolished, roads closed, but the fire continued. Today, the area is monitored, but the ground remains unstable. Temperatures measured just below the surface can reach over 450 degrees C, 842 degrees Fahrenheit. Centralia is a place where nature and human engineering collided in the worst possible way. A reminder that once the earth decides to burn, there is no stopping it. 7. The door to hell, Turkmenistan's burning crater. A fiery pit that should not exist in the Karakum Desert of Turkmenistan lies a crater 70 meters wide and 30 meters deep. A blazing inferno known around the world as the door to hell, but its true origin is stranger than the nickname. The accident: in 1971, Soviet geologists were drilling for natural gas reserves. The ground collapsed below them, opening a massive sinkhole. Fearing catastrophic methane release, the scientists set the pit on fire, expecting the gas to burn out within days. Instead, the fire has burned for more than 50 years. A living furnace. Temperatures inside the crater can exceed 1,000 degrees C, 1832 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat is so intense that sand around the edges turns to glass. Animals avoid the area entirely. Birds flying above have fallen from sudden heat currents. Visitors report overwhelming heat even at a safe distance, a pressure that feels like a wall of fire pushing the body backward. The psychological effect standing near the crater at night creates an unsettling sensation. Shadows move unpredictably. The roaring sound resembles a constant growl. There is no railing, and no official viewpoint, and no safety infrastructure. People who get too close risk collapsing ground, toxic fumes, and sudden bursts of flame from below the surface. The door to hell is a monumental human miscalculation, a wound in the earth that refuses to heal. Conclusion: the places we are not meant to enter. These 7 locations are not cursed by supernatural forces. They are cursed by reality. A forest that destroys orientation, an island built from the ashes of plague victims. A tribe untouched for millennia who will kill to stay that way. A forest where nature bends perception, the labyrinth of bones beneath a modern city. A town burning from the inside out, and a crater that has become a permanent portal into the Earth's fiery core. They serve as reminders that the world still holds corners who are not meant to cross. Not because of myths, but because of history, geology, biology, and the brutal indifference of nature itself. These places are terrifying for one simple reason: they do not care whether we survive them, and that is why they should never be visited.